Texans versus Jags. Texans are chasing the Jaguars. How far away are they, though, from the Jags? Jags have their quarterback. They have the coach they believe is going to take them where they want to go. And the Texans right now, they're a little bit behind when it comes to the rebuild. Why is Jacksonville ahead of the Texans? They've sucked for a longer time. And they've actually got kind of lucky because Urban Meyer was such a disaster and such a bleep show that they were able to punt on him in a year. If Urban Meyer would have even been able to avoid playing Twister at the bar with that co-ed, Urban Meyer could be back and the Jags could be in a tough spot. I thought Urban Meyer was going to work out. Didn't work out. And the fact he was as much of a disaster as he was, it allowed you to pick at the top of the draft in every round last year and allowed you to bring in a Super Bowl winning coach. So until the Texans get the coach that they believe is going to take them to the promised land, and it's not Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith is perfect for where they are right now, process over results, overseeing things. But until the Texans get that coach and that quarterback, we're still in the middle of the process. And we don't know how good Trevor Lawrence is going to be. He's been better this year. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But we don't know how good he's going to be. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. Is he going to be the Andrew Luck, John Elway, the montage that we saw during the draft? Jury's still out on that. There's a lot of time there. But the question is, how long will it take the Texans to get where the Jags are at? I don't think it'll take as long as we think, especially if what Nick Caserio has shown us ends up playing true. Now, I know a lot of last year's draft picks kind of coming down to earth. Roy Lopez doesn't look like a guy that you want starting on the defensive line, but he's a good rotational guy at worst. Nico Collins, is he a true number 2? I don't know. He was drafted in a round where even if he's a number 3 or whatever, who knows? Although he's coming off a good game in which he actually played better than the stats. Davis Mills kind of overshot him. Mills was a 3rd-round pick. I don't think anyone's going to roll their eyes at that 3rd-round pick, and they got some other guys that they're looking at. But the most significant thing right now when we talk about the Texans catching the Jags is the way that these rookies are playing this year. The Athletic put out an all-rookie team. 4 guys from the Texans were on that all-rookie team. Dameon Pierce, Derek Stingley, Kenyon Green, and Jalen Petrie. It's 4 guys. You got Christian Harris coming back. So you got a lot of hope when it comes to the job that Nick Caserio does drafting guys. So it might not be long. You just get your quarterback. Next thing you know, you're humming. We could be looking at the beginning of the top 2 teams in the division because you look elsewhere in the division, Indianapolis, they're in a weird spot. Could Frank Reich get fired if Indianapolis bottoms out? I don't know. It's hard to imagine Jim Irsay just sitting there letting this continue. Indianapolis, I want them to suck. I don't want them to suck too bad and luck into an Andrew Luck type of situation where you get the quarterback, although that didn't end as well as they'd hoped. So Indianapolis is in a weird spot. Tennessee, they could easily write their season and end up winning the division, but then what? We know what their ceiling is with Ryan Tannehill. Get into the playoffs, and eventually you're going to hit a wall. So you can make a case that the 2 teams on Sunday, Texans, Jags, they're the 2 teams where the arrow's pointing up. Now, it's a lot lower than where Tennessee is with the arrow pointing down and where Indianapolis is at the moment, but this could be the start of something. And it might not take too long for the Texans to get where the Jags are at, especially if Nick Caserio keeps drafting the way that he's drafting, because it's looking really damn good with old Nick Caserio. We can nitpick, Farrell Brown, and we can nitpick Justin Britt, and we can whine about Rex Burkhead. I'm the biggest whiner when it comes to Rex Burkhead. But if Nick Caserio keeps drafting like this and the Texans keep losing, they could be on an equal level with the Jags, who, oh, by the way, are the favorite to win the AFC South in Vegas. Keep up the good work, Nick Caserio. Looking forward to seeing Sunday. Go out there, play well. Let's see these young guys look good, but let's just lose so that we can get where they're at. #Team Bryce Young.